Nithyanandam Paramashivoham Level Jnanamurtim Gangatitam Gaganasadrisham Tattvamasyaadilakshyam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Triguణarahitam Sadguruntam Namami. Nithyananda, we welcome all the viewers and participants to this life-changing webinar, the superconscious mutation of Paramashiva. We have participants joining us in the webinar from over 150 countries through two-way video conferencing, Kailasa TV, Nithyananda TV, and several digital social media platforms, including Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. We welcome each and every one of you. We've been having a great, amazing revelations from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, on this super conscious mutations of Paramashiva yesterday. And we have amazing response from all the participants. And there are several people who have taken their life to the next step by joining the program Paramashivoham Level 3. So before we get into that, let us quickly see a brief introduction about all the various contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva as per Hinduism, and he is recognized by his predecessors who are enlightened masters and adepts. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has made the science of power manifestation, yoga, temple-based universities, a lifestyle for the entire humanity. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was born in Trivandrum, and at the age of 3, he was initiated into Bhala Sannyas. And he is coronated as the Pontiff or the Guru Mahasannidhanam for 19 plus ancient Hindu kingdoms. You can see here all the various Hindu kingdoms on which Swamiji is coronated as the current Guru Mahasannidhanam. And in 2015, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is elected as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by the congregation of over 1,000 plus spiritual leaders of Hinduism. And 28 years of brilliant humanitarian services and initiatives, including free vegetarian food, medical services, natural disaster relief, women empowerment initiatives, conflict resolution, peace initiatives, sustainable Hindu practices through various international agencies and bodies. Swamiji has contributed immensely to the humanity. And he has authored more than 300 books and 10,000 articles in more than more languages. It is all translated into 50 languages with over 1,000 plus titles. And some of the global initiatives includes the 20 million copies of books and articles are sold, read, and downloaded. And he has established the largest Hindu library with over 1 million books, 1 million palm-leaf scriptures, and over 20 million digital books. Swamiji is revered as prolific and most viewed guru in the digital world. He is read and watched by more than 1 billion followers in Hinduism. And over 10,000 plus hours of discourses, over 1 billion views in social media. Swamiji is respected as the commentator of all the sacred scriptures such as Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Shiva Sutras, Yoga Sutras, Ashtavakra Gita, Jain Sutras, and many more. He is honored as the leader of Hinduism, the most awarded internationally recognized Hindu leader, and he's acclaimed as one of the top 100 spiritually influential living personalities by Watkins Mind, Body, Spirit magazine. The Sovereign Order of Kailasa, led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and the Nithyananda Order of Monks, Nuns, and Hindu Diaspora are working for global peace to give super conscious breakthrough to humanity. And Swamiji is the establisher of the largest Hindu university, Nithyananda Hindu University in the world, with more than 100 satellite campuses in 150 countries. And he is the establisher of 1,000+ Kailasa ecosystems around the world. There are so many other contributions and many initiatives that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has offered to the whole of the humanity. And one of the most important initiative that he has given to the world is giving this science of superconscious mutation, empowering the humanity to this amazing possibility. The highest possibility that any human being can experience is the science of superconscious mutation. That is what Swamiji is offering to the world, and that is what we're going to see in this webinar. And yesterday we had this amazing response, amazing participation from all the participants around the globe, especially in 150+ countries. And there are many participants who had amazing breakthroughs in their understandings, in their cognitions on what they need to be doing next, how they want to mold their life, how they are going to transform themselves by taking next step in their journey. And we have Sri Amrita here joining with me, who is also going to share more about the superconscious mutation. And we are all going to have participants of the webinar and the recent program Paramashivoham Level 2, Level 3 and Season 2, from which we are going to have these participants share their experiences.
Yes. Nithyanandam, thank you, Pranapriya. It was great. It was such a beautiful first day webinar. So today, I wanted to introduce so many people, who have actually come to share their life experience. Also a book writer, and he has really manifested wealth, attending, the 21-day program. And it's been very successful, in academics and at work. And really wanted to him to share how this 21-day program has really changed his life in an amazing way. And wanted to invite, welcome Banastananda, Nithyanandam Banastananda. Are you able to hear me? Nithyanandam. Nithyanandam Banastananda, are you able to hear me?
Sorry about the technical glitch.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I am. We are able to hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, good. So
Yes.
Carry on.
Welcome, Banastananda. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Sri Banastananda. Yes.
Yes. Well, just by way of background, so I was born in the UK, and when I was a child, everybody on the BBC had this accent, and so did my parents. And then when I was nearly 4 years old, we moved to Leicester in the centre of the UK. where they have a regional accent. And so on my first day at school, I turned up at the school speaking like this and thinking I was going to make all these new friends. And instead, everybody laughed at me and made fun of my accent. And I was very upset by that. And I felt like an outsider. So that was the kind of beginning of my life in the outside world. And so what I concluded was that I just needed to be clever and work very hard. So I did all that. And then I went to Cambridge. I worked in banking and management consultancy. I went to business school. I won first prize. And then I was suicidally depressed. And I realized that I needed a spiritual solution, because all this cleverness and hard work, it worked for a while and suddenly it stopped working. And unfortunately, some people at my school had got into Oxford and Cambridge and all of this, but some of them had also committed suicide. So I realized there's a major problem here, and the solution is a spiritual one. So I started looking for that solution. That was the beginning of the journey. I now see it as a blessing. It was the beginning of the end of my ego. So, yeah.
Yes, thank you, Banastanda. So do you want to share how your life was, when you were explaining this, about your obstacles, challenges, you faced?
Yeah, certainly. So, well, the initial challenge was that I knew I wanted to work in executive search, headhunting and/or investment management, and I realized it's no good just being intelligent. You also need tremendous intuition, and I felt that I had no intuition. And so then I learned to meditate, and that helped a lot because suddenly I became more intuitive. But I became a partner in an executive search firm. So I was recruiting chief executives and finance directors. But then I got fired after 5 years. And again, I was on my own. And so I was trying to make money, and I was starting to write books. But there was a lot of fear and anxiety, like where is the next money coming from? Where is the next client coming from? And so I was very unsettled. I learned transcendental meditation, and that helped. But still, some of the people in the audience may relate to this. I realized that there were all these people who were meditating, and a lot of them were broke or ill or had bad relationships. So I realized, well, they only have part of the answer. So what I need is a complete answer. And then one day, a friend of mine connected with me with Swamiji, and I immediately grabbed the opportunity because I realized, oh, he has the complete answer, right? Because there were two things. One was this book about living enlightenment. And I thought, oh, well, that makes sense, because I kind of have a glimpse of enlightenment twice a day when I meditate, but living enlightenment sounds much better, like be that way the whole time. And the second thing was the completion technique, because I realized he had a technique to solve all of these problems. So as soon as possible, I went to India and I spent 21 days on what was then called the Inner Awakening Program. So that's how I connected with Swamiji. Basically, I realized he had the answer. So.
Okay, great. Thank you, Banastanda. So maybe you can give us a little bit more details about the challenges. Maybe you can put some light into some of the challenges that you had. Especially when you were in the executive search, or when you were around in your community.
Yeah, there were lots of challenges. One was health. So over a period of about 16 years, my cholesterol started creeping up and up and up and up and up and up. And I was surrounded by people who were pretty unhealthy. And I noticed quite a lot of senior people die around 60. They basically have very stressful lives. Their cardiovascular health, they typically die of heart disease or cancer, late 50s, early 60s, a lot of them. And so I could see my cholesterol creeping up and up and up, and I did all the right things, the doctor said I should do, and that was creeping up, and that got solved by Swamiji. Ma Atmadaya taught us one of his techniques, and my cholesterol fell by about 19%, purely by using a spiritual technique. And the nurse said, "You must be taking statins." I said, "No, I just followed the spiritual technique from my guru." So that solved that one. And there were the main problem was this, which I see most people in the business world have is trying to solve every problem intellectually. And I'm still in touch with a lot of university friends and business school friends, and the whole Western model is that you are alone in the world. There's no God, and everything has to be solved intellectually. And I just found that didn't work, and it created enormous anxiety. And in my case, I wasn't depressed, but I was kind of very unsettled and uncertain for a very long time, until I learned to surrender. And again, I really learned to surrender through Swamiji. And I was reading his book about the Bhagavad Gita. He said, when you surrender, your intuition will tell you what to do. And then I suddenly got it. Okay, if I surrender, then everything works out. And I learned that from Swamiji, just learning to surrender properly. So, and then everything does work out.
Great. Yes. So what was, thank you for sharing. So what was the big step, you took to find a solution to this, fear, uncertainty, and, many other, problems, that you faced earlier in your life?
Yeah, well, in my case, I mean, this was 2014. I suppose what I realized was, I mean, I must have read hundreds of self-help books, Western books, and I realized that whether or not they admitted it, they were all pointing back towards the Eastern traditions, and whether or not they admitted it, they were all pointing back towards India, essentially. and I could see bits and pieces of a solution because I explored all these different avenues. And then I just realized, what Swamiji was saying made perfect sense intellectually, and I just need to go and experience it, because I think it's very easy to sit on the fence and say, well, I need to understand intellectually. I got to the point where, okay, I've had enough of all that. I just need to go and have the experience. And the experience was depletion, which is a very simple technique on paper. And then every day we had to, Swamiji gave initiation. And on the 5th or 6th day, basically my Kundalini awakened and my body started shaking a lot. And while the following year, it started levitating. And I've met so many people, they talk about Kundalini and I say, have you experienced it? And they haven't. And in my case, it just started happening 5 or 6 days after I met Swamiji, right? So, and then after that, the following year, it kind of went up my spine and my third eye opened. So what I do these days is I don't worry about understanding intellectually. I just say, right, let me have the experience. And if I have the experience, I can understand intellectually afterwards, because then I have something to observe. I'm not kind of theorizing. It's, it's real.
That's great. That's great. So you found, really Swamiji, and, you really got some breakthroughs. So I wanted to hear, maybe what has been the impact on your life, by Swamiji, and, attending, this 21-day programs, going through initiations. Obviously, your friends and family, colleagues, see you differently, and how you're able to, really impact, realize the impact in your life.
Yes. I mean, I should say, I went to see Swamiji in India 4 times for programs, right? So, and it went further and further and further. So initially it was, okay, I have this technique called completion, so I do that. And one of the first things that happened, because I carried on doing it for several weeks, is there was this amazing experience where for about 24, 36 hours, I had almost no thoughts. It was like I'm meditating, but I'm walking around talking to people and living my life. And the next time I saw Swamiji, I told him, and he just grinned and gave me thumbs up. And it was like, I suddenly realized, I can get into a space where life goes on without endless analyzing and thinking. I don't need all that, right? So that was one thing. So that was the first year. And then, well, actually, I'm writing a new book about this. When you came to London with your daughter, it was the first Madhura, first time I saw someone reading with a blindfold on. And so she was 10, as I recall. normal. So she was reading with the blindfold on, and then I think the following I was in India, and Swamiji initiated all of us to read with blindfolds on, and lots of people were doing it. And then the first thing that happened to me was I was in London, and Swamiji initiated us to consciousness over matter, and quite quickly I was moving a coconut by looking at it. Put the coconut on someone's hand and then move the coconut, and it was amazing because it made people realize, oh, this is not some intellectual idea, this is something real. Like, I can't understand it intellectually because it doesn't fit with Western ideas about, well, classical ideas about physics, but it's clearly real because the coconut is rolling across the table. So that happened. And then the other major thing that happened was, so I haven't eaten meat since I was about fish, eggs, alcohol, nearly 3 years ago, and well, 2.5, 3 years ago. And a friend of mine got very serious COVID, and she was in intensive care. Just before that happened, I started giving her healing. She's going to die. We can't do anything else. And so Madara and I, we carried on doing the healing. And you know, I have no medical training. I stopped biology at the age of 14. Right? I don't know what I'm doing, but I just followed instructions. And anyway, so after the doctor said she's going to die and the last rites, she got better and went home, and she's still alive, right? So she was
Wow.
That's really amazing things, whatever you shared, whether it is Kundalini awakening or
yes,
Atmananga healing, and all these things are amazing. So you have done quite a lot of programs, and now doing Paramashivoham Level 3, how
yes.
was it different, or what makes you feel that this is something special that no one can miss?
Yes, well, I've done 1 day of Paramashivoham Level 3, and I want to do a lot more. For me, this is a really important thing. The first time I went to see Swamiji, I had loads and loads and loads and loads of questions, right? And I realized there were some people just sitting there. And what I've realized now, you know, I still work on myself, I still do the spiritual practice, but for me, the most important thing is to sit in Swamiji's presence, whether it's, and just let him work on me. And so one reason I have a spiritual name is so that he can just work on me, and I don't worry about what he's going to do and how he's going to do it. It's just the experience of being there with him. That's how I see it.
Great. That's awesome. Thank you, Vanastananda. So if that's one last thing, you know, you have to, share with the viewers, what you really want to share, because you're sure about the experience. You touched upon so much on the experience, so much on the Kundalini awakening, and, so much of, you're continuing to manifest. So what is that, one thing you want to share the audience, and I'm sure, you're so looking forward to attend 1 days, and what would you want to tell your audience?
Yes. Well, what I would say is, yeah, that's definitely something I want to do. I'll tell you one experience I had. It was about 2 or 3 years ago. I was thinking, no, it was the second time. I was thinking, how I had some investments, and I was thinking, how am I going to manifest this? And, am I really going to spend this money doing this thing, and etc. And a very spooky thing happened. I said, okay, I'm going to do it. And then a few days later, the stock market moved and paid for the program. So I decided I was going to do the program, and then the world just changed and it manifested. So my experience is you set the intention and then it happens. So.
Great. And do you and what would be your declaration to, for Paramashivoham?
Yeah, so my declaration is to attend Paramashivoham Level 3. As I mentioned, I have a partners meeting which clashes with the first 4 days. So Swamiji will take care of that.
Great. Great. Thank you, Banastananda. And we will, I think, it's very important, what Banastananda shared about the experience. Each of you who are there out, it is the experience, that you connect with, in the program through the initiations to really have that superconscious mutation. And so all of you, please just a moment. So all of you, I'll be just showing the screen to put in the intention. People out there, really fill in the intention at paramashivoham.org/ kailasa.org/Paramashivoham. Yes, thank you. It's kailasa.org/Paramashivoham. I really want all of you to fill in that intention to really make that spontaneous decision. I want to experience. Very important. It's very important. Yes, thank you. I'm just showing the screen. To request all the Zoom coordinators to help the participants to fill in the intention for that experience. It is the experience that you hold on to. Each one of us have our own experience, with the Guru, through initiations, manifesting different ways. So it is the experience each one of us, count on, and just binds us together. So I request all of you to take a moment to fill in the intentions on kailasa.org/Paramashivoham. So we move on. Ma Pranapriya, yes. I would like to transition to Ma Pranapriya. Nithyananda Ma, yes.
Yes. So that was from Banahasananda from United Kingdom, who shared his experiences. And now we're going to hear more from participants who have attended the Paramashivoham Level 3 program, and some of them who have decided that, yes, this is my journey and I really need to make it. So just before we go into that, just a quick brief about what is Paramashivoham Level 3 program. It is an amazing opportunity to one and all to experience what it means by superconscious mutation. We're going to experience superconscious mutation in this program, where the Paramashiva is going to manifest himself as the Nijavatara, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, in all his dimensions, all his possibilities, all his powers, all his powerful cognitions, and all his manifestations. So it is an extraordinary program where we are going to experience ourselves exploring highest possibilities in life. And you're also going to see how this can make your problems redundant. You're not going to simply sit and solve the problems one by one, but actually make your problems redundant. So we have next participant is Abha Sharma, and she is from Canada. And participant, she is going to share an amazing journey. It's really such an inspiring journey. It makes us feel, wow, how literally Swamiji,
64 manifestations documented in Veda Agamas, which he himself describes manifesting all of them in you is the complete manifestation of Paramadvaita. "64 manifestations documented in Veda Agamas, which he himself describes. Manifesting all of them
Yes, welcome back.
Yeah. Yeah, so sorry for that glitch. I was not able to unmute. So my name is Ava Sharma. I am from Toronto, Canada, and I am with Swamiji for since 2009 when the Toronto Kailasa started. And since that time, there is so many changes in my life, and like I have more understanding about the Hinduism. Before I was just thinking what we are doing and why we are doing. I was just doing because we were told to do. But now after meeting Swamiji, I know each and every ritual why we are doing. So I have more devotion and more trust in that. And so I always feel Swamiji's presence whenever I have problem. And the biggest gift Swamiji has given me, which is like a priceless, that is my granddaughter. My daughter was not able to conceive, and she was praying to Swamiji, and she has a wonderful, smart daughter now. So that
So,
has
Ava
so much.
Sharma, Mom, would you like to share what were you doing in the Canada and a little bit background about yourself
Okay.
to all of our participants
Oh,
and viewers?
okay. I was a nurse right from my when I was like 21 years old. I was in Indian Army. Then I moved to Kuwait. Then in 1998, I came to Canada. Here also, I was working as a nurse. And just recently, I'm retired.
Okay.
So,
So I think that's a very successful career, and
yes,
you've been doing well. So what actually motivated you to move towards spirituality? What was missing in your life?
actually, I was from the lineage from the Guru's parampara. My
Mhm.
mother's great grandfather was disciple of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then my
Mhm.
mother's grandfather was also mm, Guru, and then like we had a temple. We were living like on the second floor, and the first floor was like a public temple. So I was coming from that background, but there were like thousand questions in my mind: what we are doing and why we are doing. Like there
Mm.
was just they were telling us we were doing. So I was not very like satisfied. So and
Yes.
then when I met my daughter Mukta Sharma, actually she was more involved with Swamiji, watching him on YouTube and on Facebook. Then she was, so I just went to the temple with her in Toronto, Kailasam. So when went to the temple, this temple was altogether different. That energy, I felt like this is like what in my imagination what the Kailasa should be. That was that Kailasha,
Mm.
that the feeling that I gave it to
So,
me.
yeah.
Then I realized, this is I'm on the correct place. The Swamiji is Paramashiva, and that is what I was missing in my life. And then I started exploring more and more and getting more connected. And I got the answer for all my rituals and all the customs about Hinduism. And the result is that now I am a better person. I understand and I'm able to enrich others. And if there is somewhere some prayers or something happens, I go there, I contribute, and they also feel very satisfied with my contribution, because Swamiji is not me. Swamiji's grace is coming with me. And they all feel, oh, you have done very good. This place looks now like full of energy, but it's all Swamiji's grace.
Amazing. See, the very interesting part, whatever you shared, Ma, is the Guru lineage, how the whole family was connected to Guru,
Yes,
and how it took so many years for you to find your Guru, right? And after you found the Guru also, there were many times that you always wanted to do the program, and what made you to actually take this jump now, despite
yeah. I
so
had
many
a
other
very
things?
busy life raising the children, and sometimes when I joined for the program got cancelled. Sometimes I was not able, my like family issues, my mother was sick, I wanted to go and spend time with her, so many things were happening. So now when I did Paramashivoham level 2, and then now when Paramashivoham level 3, I wanted to do last time, but I had some other surgeries and all, I couldn't do. So now this time I said, no, I cannot delay anymore. The sooner the better it is. And my total aim is like I want to get more connected with Swamiji, have more depth about the Hinduism, and then maybe I can make the society much better. And so it's good for me, for society, for my family, for everybody. So whoever is watching, please don't delay this program. It's not only you, it's the people around you gets also the benefit of this. So Swamiji's grace is like an ocean. Yeah, and anybody can get it, and how much you want, we can get it. He's very compassionate. He's like, that is what I've seen. He's very compassionate. No matter what we do, he forgave us, and we can always feel his presence in a hard time or whatever time it is,
Great, Ma. That's really awesome. Thank you so much for joining our segment today. It was wonderful having you. And your journey is really inspiring because something that I learned is how Guru ensures, it's been about more than 50 years, how he is actually ensuring that you're getting connected to a living Guru. And when your seeking is intensified, when you really feel, no, I somehow have to be with Swamiji, when your seeking is really intense, then all the other so-called obstacles just melted, and you're already there with Bhagavan. You've already registered yourself for the program, and looking forward for season 3. That's such an amazing journey that you have shared with all of us. Thank you so much for joining the segment today.
You're welcome, Ma.
That's great.
Thank you.
That's great. Awesome sharing, Ma Sharma. Yes, that's great. And I just wanted to ask you, out of curiosity, I'm sure you had the best. You remember the best moments, with Swamiji. Maybe you can share some of the best moments you have with Swamiji. So you're really so connected, and now you've decided to attend Paramashivoham level 3, season 3.
Yes, as soon as I see Swamiji, like my mood changes, that Kundalini is there. Swamiji's grace is expressing, like total environment around me, everything gets changed, Yeah, his grace is like, it's always there. Yes.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you so much.
When I did the Maheshri Puja, I always get reward from him. I did the Maheshri Puja just before, like it was night here and the day there. I was sleeping. And in my dream, I saw Swamiji in the black. I said, Swamiji is never in the black. How come he's wearing black? But next day, there was a Kali Puja. And that Kali was in the black dress, the same dress. So that was Swamiji's darshan in the night. So he never misses anything. Even if I am sleeping also, his darshan is there. So I have so much thankful to Swamiji. It is priceless. Even for PSM 3, I know what we are paying is nothing. What Swamiji is doing priceless. It's only his compassion. So for Swamiji, please accept my gratitude.
Thank you for sharing, Ma. Great.
And thank you for listening me.
Thank you so much, Ma. Yes. So to all the viewers, It is an amazing opportunity to each and every one of you to be part of this huge happening, which is Paramashivoham Level 3. And please understand, this is something which nobody can miss in this planet Earth, because it is Paramashiva himself has incarnated, giving this amazing experience, which is highest possibility of any human being experiencing yourself as a superconscious mutant. So this is so all that really requires from your end is not thinking about, okay, I have this problem of money, I have this problem of getting a leave, or I have this issues of relationship. Nothing is really a problem. It is all boiling down to your intensity. Are you intense about this speaking? Do you really want this experience? Do you really want to be experiencing vertical time zones? Do you really want to see yourself as a superconscious mutant? Do you want to experience extraordinary possibilities in life? Do you really want to be in the breathing space, in the space of Swamiji? Many participants have just told the very same thing, that I cannot miss being with Swamiji. Just are you really intense about it? Once you are intense about it, just taking an action, you will see no obstacles are real obstacles. That is the story of every single participant who made it to Paramashivoham Level 3 program so far. So all we need to do is do not miss registering yourself in kailasa.org/Paramashivoham register Paramashivoham. Yes, before we go to the next participant, let's have a short promo break. Okay. We are also saying
64 manifestations documented in Veda Agamas, which he himself describes. Manifesting all of them in you is the complete manifestation of Paramadvaita. Four manifestations documented in Veda Agamas, which he himself describes. Manifesting all of them in you is the complete manifestation of Paramadvaita. Four manifestations documented in Veda Agamas, which he himself describes. Manifesting all of them in you is the complete manifestation of Paramadvaita. Four manifestations documented in Veda Agamas, which he himself describes. manifesting all of them in you is the complete manifestation of Paramadvaita.
Taking a few seconds to add Marjan in our panel. So while we are waiting for Marjan to join, yeah. Okay, she's here. Oh, great. Yes. Thank you so much, John, for joining us in the segment today. It is a pleasure to have you here. And we would like to know from you, please tell all our viewers, how old are you, and a little bit more about your background. Yeah. May I request you to unmute yourself? Let's see.
Oh, 你可以打开麦克风吗？讲一下你多少岁背景，跟原来一样。
听到吗？
Yes, we can hear you now, Ma. That's great. Great. So yes, tell us about yourself. Where are you from, and what do you do?
好的，首先我是詹西宁，我来自中国北京，然后今年刚刚过了20岁的生日，我是一名大3的学生，然后我的家庭呢是属于中产阶级，然后我想说一下，在遇到上师之前呢，我其实对于生活有很多的无力感，首先是我对于身边的社会还有世界性的一些问题，我觉得我自己没有办法去做一些改变。然后对于我身边的家人还有朋友呢，他们有些问题，我也没有办法帮助他们解决。然后对于我自己，其实我看到我的前世有很多问题都是我今生还在重复的，我也觉得非常的无力，而且我不知道我以后要去干什么，我感到非常迷茫，而且觉得人生没有意义。这是我在遇到上师之前我的一些体会。
My name is Zhan Xingning. I'm from Beijing, China. I just passed my 20-year-old birthday, and now I'm a third-year university student. And before I met Swamiji, my life was full of powerlessness. There are many. I see a society full of negativity and world with conflicts, and I don't know how to help I don't know how to help my families and friends to solve their problems, and I can also see my past experiences also repeating itself in this life. So I don't know what to do, and my life seems meaningless.
Actually, what you shared is, it's really what today's youth is facing. Especially youth are facing so much of depression, so much of anxiety, so much of suicidal thoughts, and they feel hopeless. And I'm sure you must have tried many other solutions, right? Like, what are the things that you tried, and what was your experience of it?
就是曾经面临的一些抑郁啊，甚至年轻人有的自杀性的这种趋势啊，这种事情，你试过哪些解决方法吗？
其实这个我之前也非常的疑惑，而且我身边也有同学，他们是有患过抑郁症或者想要自杀的。然后对于这些问题，其实我也曾经有尝试过一些解决方法。首先，我可能会去学习占卜，还有一些魔法仪式，我想通过这些办法来帮助他们解决问题。但是很多时候这些都是徒劳的，只能解决一些表面的问题，然后解决一些他们暂时性的迷茫，但是没有办法解决到根源的问题。另外呢，我觉得社会上也有很多这方面的问题，包括青年的自杀，还有一些世界性的贫困，还有饥饿。然后这些呢，我也曾尝试过办法，比如说我去做一些公益的捐赠，但是我发现这些问题其实是无尽头的，或者说是有非常多的，而我能贡献的力量其实非常小的，所以对于这些我也感到非常的无力，即使我去寻找了一些解决办法。
Yes, I do have friends who were depressed or even tried suicide attempts. And I did try to find solutions to help them. One thing is that I learned tarot cards and some other spiritual methods. But I found that these solutions can only help them with very shallow problems. It could not solve the root problems and gave them inner strength. And also I tried another thing is that I donated money to charities, try to help the society. But I found that things just kept coming up, more and more events needed help, like poverty and endless things. It just made me feel more powerless.
I think that was a very important perspective what John is actually bringing to us in the segment, because we try to solve problems through various means, looking for solutions outside. We try to fix one solution after another, one solution after another. We try to fix something outside, but the problem doesn't get solved. It just keeps coming on and on and on. And that's when the whole inner journey starts. So that's a very beautiful way how she has put it. And now how did her inner journey start? Like, how did she come across all the teachings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and how did this journey start?
就是问一下你是如何开始内在的灵性的追求，遇到大师的？
我其实一直有在去做一些灵性方面的追求和一些探索，然后我是通过这个圈子里的一个朋友得知的大师的课程，就在今年5月份，然后我就马上去加上志愿者去了解这个课程，然后认识了大师，而且当我得知有这个21天3级课的时候，我是迅速马上的就决定要去报名这个课程，而且我不是说要去为了得到什么，我只是觉得我内心有一个声音一直告诉我一定要去上，然后到了这个时候我就明白了，其实是大师找到了我，然后去培养我成为这样一个人，然后通过上3级课呢，我也收获了很多，就是在21天的完整的3级课程中呢，我是收获到了很多强有力的认知，而且收获到了大师的很多点化。然后通过这个课程呢，我首先对于我的家人和朋友呢，我可以通过合一的能力，还有3眼的疗愈的能力，去能够看到他们身体上的痛苦还有问题，找到他们的根源模式，然后通过3眼传讯给出他们真正解决问题的答案。同时呢，我也可以去3眼去疗愈他们，然后帮助他们减轻一些痛苦。另外呢，我还通过大师的课程认识到了集体一致性，然后这个集体一致性呢，帮助我摆脱了很多对于社会的无力感。就是当我得知这个认知的时候，我发现我是有能力而且有责任，也有义务去帮助我身边的所有我看到的人事物去解决他们的问题，因为当我在我的内在空间解决了问题的时候，他们也能够 在他们的空间消除这些问题。所以我发现人生是非常积极的。我也通过这个课程，就是解决了很多我的迷茫。我相信有很多像我一样的来自中国的不管是青少年朋友还是各个年龄阶段的朋友们，都有过像我这样的迷茫的阶段，而且一直在探索一个答案。那么其实我在上完了3节课之后，我明白了怎么去解决人与人之间的矛盾，甚至我还知道了如何去化解一些世界性的问题。这些可能是一些科学家都没有办法解决的，但是大师给到了我答案，而且我相信这些答案也正是我们这些朋友们，这些世界需要的，也是我们的华人朋友们需要的。然后我相信有更多人来上这个课，一起建设凯拉萨，也会得到更加美好、更加积极的人生，也能得到一个更加和平和美好的世界。
Yes, I actually started spiritual seeking before Swamiji, but it was this May this year I knew Swamiji through a spiritual friend, and I immediately got in touch with a volunteer from the Chinese Kailasa Chinese world, and I knew that this Paramashivoham Level 3 Season 2 program was beginning soon, and I made the decision immediately because there was an inner voice telling me to go, just to go. And now I know that it's Swamiji that's found me and guiding me. So
actually, that's such a powerful statement that she's making, because inner voice. I'm sure so many of you, so many viewers and participants, you also have that inner voice. Every single person have that inner voice. Inner voice is to really come out of the suffering, really come out of this suffering and realize that we are all consciousness. We are a Paramashiva. So that inner voice is the inner voice, is the voice of the Guru, who is actually calling, and he's enabling this whole humanity with this super conscious mutation. So that's so beautiful. Yes, please continue, Shukra Indrananda.
Yes, and by completing the whole 21-day Paramashivoham Level 3 Season 2 program, she gained lots of powerful cognitions and super conscious mutation initiations, and she applied these in her life already. One is that the power, yes, oneness. She was initiated into oneness, and she can manifest this third eye power to feel the pain on her friends and families.
That's just 1 week, yeah. Because it's just been a week since the Paramashiva program is completed. She already started manifesting powers. She's scanning people. Wow. That's really amazing. Please go ahead, Ma.
Yes, and not only.
This is really amazing, because this is really amazing, Zen. I really, it's a very powerful, sharing. I wanted to, actually just have, to our, participants and participants within a very short amount of time, Zen has been, manifesting, powers, and her life is so beautifully taking shape and molding into a new herself. And it's really a very powerful sharing. Please continue.
Yes, by being in oneness with them, she could feel the pain of her friends and family, and she used her third eye to find the root of their pain, and also received solutions from her third eye to tell them what to do. And she also used the power of healing to relieve their pains, physical pains. Yes.
Amazing. That's just so beautiful.
And also about powerful cognitions, she learned about collective integrity. Now she knows that she has this responsibility to keep people integrated, and she also knows that by solving the problems in her inner space, that she can change the things and people around her. Now she's feeling very empowered, that she can deal with facing many problems and deal with them, and life is full of possibility.
Amazing. That's such a powerful experience. Yeah, look at you, just turn 20 and you're facing regular problems that any youth would face today. And then you come across Swamiji in May, took the jump, yes, this is something that I want, listening to your inner voice. And now you're manifesting powers, you're helping people, you're helping your friends. You're able to scan and you're able to say that, okay, I want to practice, I want to live collective integrity, I want to take responsibility for people. That is exactly what superconscious mutation can do. It is not just in one dimension that you get a breakthrough, but holistically, as a complete being, you will see yourself blossoming, flowering as a superconscious mutation, experiencing amazing possibilities in life. That's such a powerful sharing. Now, what is your next plan? Want to hear from you. What have you planned next?
下一步的步骤是什么？下一步。
就是下一步我还想继续参加下一期的3节课，然后因为我想要继续跟上师更亲密的在一起。另外呢，我也觉得21天3节课就是强度非常的大，有很多内容我上一次可能还没有完全吸收完，我想要再去吸收第2次。那么下一步呢，我就要在明天去付我的第一笔首付款，就是4000美金，然后想要继续丰富的课程，而且我想要号召我的朋友们一起来参加。
I want to attend again Paramashivoham Level 3 Season 3 this time.
Wow.
Yeah, the whole 21 days.
Wow. Great.
Yes.
That's awesome.
What makes you to do that? Like, see, anybody would say, okay, I've just finished my 21-day program. And you're saying, yes, I have finished my 21-day program. I'm already seeing myself as a superconscious mutant. And what inspires you to do the program once again for full 21 days of it?
Yeah, she just told that she wants to be in Swamiji's presence again.
See, she brings up a very good point. She brings up a very good point, Zan. Out of she spoke about collective integrity, to working with people around her, and she wants to be in the presence of Swamiji now, and it's all about the Vatavarana, the surrounding you, who you are surrounded by, and what is the environment that you are in. It makes a big difference. So if all of the viewers here, if you are in that space, the Vatavarana for 21 days, in front of Swamiji and these initiations, what it can do to you, just a sample sharing of very powerful sharing of Zan. A 20-year-old Zan is sharing such powerful, amazing breakthroughs.
Yes, and she is absolutely blissful. I'm sure anybody who just connects with her, you can feel the bliss in her. That's nothing but the bliss of Paramashiva, the bliss of Swamiji. Literally, the Nithyananda DNA is just in her. The superconscious mutant mutation is actually happening in her so beautifully. Now, just wanted to know, have you already taken steps? Have you registered for the program? What would you like to share about that? Yes, we can hear you, Ma. Please go ahead.
I think Ma Shukriya Nanda is muted. Okay.
So while we hear back from them,
we can't.
It's an amazing journey that she shared, and there are so many things that we can learn. We can really connect to. I mean, what she's facing is just a problem of every single youth today. They're all facing, and in fact, there is no more midlife crisis. It's only quarter life crisis. They've tried every single thing today, but there is no solutions available. And she made the decision, I'm going to listen to my inner voice. I'm really going to listen to my inner voice. And she found her guru, what more she can have in life, and all the powers, just like how Guru Swamiji says, all his powers, all his dimensions, all his compassion, the collective integrity, or every single dimension she's experiencing in herself. That's the best gift that anybody can get. And if you're somebody who really feels that, yes, I have that inner calling, I really have that voice, just all you need to do is register yourself. Listen to that inner voice and register yourself. You will see there are no real obstacles other than your intensity for seeking. If you are intense about, yes, this is something which I want to manifest, then Swamiji will just make it happen for all of you.
Yes, if all of you want to experience that space of bliss, and experiencing the Vatavarana being peaceful, register for Paramashivoham now and be there for Paramashivoham season 3.
Yes, Ma. She just told that she wanted to transfer $4,000 US dollars tomorrow, and she also she also wants to call out to other Chinese people, because she once was those that were looking for truth. She was one of those members who were in confusion and looking for life's truth. Now she's attended the program that she has found all the solutions to life's problems and even to the society's problems. And now she wants to call out other people to join, and even to together build Kailasa with Swamiji. And life is full of infinite positivity, and let us change and create.
Great. That is so inspiring.
That's
to
great.
every single one of us, really. Not just thinking that, yes, this is something which I want to do. You've already taken action, going to manifest the remaining funds and make it to Paramashivoham Level 3, and also taking responsibility to every single Chinese youth out there. This is just phenomenal. You can just see the sample, how the superconscious mutation happens in each one of us. The way they express, the way they experience themselves is something phenomenal. So, dear viewers, do not miss this opportunity. Just all you need to do is go to Kailasa.org/Paramashivoham. Right, it's running in scroll, the link where you need to register, which is Kailasa.org, KAILASA.org/Paramashivoham.
I request all the Zoom coordinators to kindly help the participants. Those who are already made a decision in order to attend Paramashivoham 3 program, they can request for payment details as well.
"64 manifestations documented in Veda Agamas, which he himself describes. Manifesting all of them in you is the complete manifestation of Paramadvaita. "64 manifestations documented in Veda Agamas."
Yes, great. So we have Consiata Galato. She has an amazing journey, with Swamiji, and such a very powerful sharing. That we're going to hear from her. And Consiata, you can please tell us a little bit about yourself, about your background, what issues you faced, and certainly along those lines.
Sure. I was born in Italy, but I moved to UK 18 years ago, and I work in the social services related sector at the moment. When I came to this country, obviously, I had my own emotional baggage from home, plus I was kind of acquiring new baggage because I was faced with people at work that were really challenging, situations that were really hard, and I constantly felt attacked some way or another, either by colleagues, by managers, by customers who were really holding a low level of consciousness. And I would my day would be consumed from work, and then another 3 hours to unwind from whatever feelings I had acquired, energies I had been in contact with. So I wasn't really living a good standard of life. I wasn't having a good standard of life, quality of life at all. Plus bad relationship with friends, both with friends and romantically. Yeah, I was pretty miserable, stuck in a vicious circle like that. Until I met Swamiji, which happened, it's now coming up 5 years anniversary. It was this time of year, Swamiji just appeared on my Facebook feed, and straight away connected, even though I thought, oh my God, who's this person? What is he wearing? But the things he was saying, they were really resonating with my being, like consciousness. He was talking about consciousness. It just was like, oh my God, he's saying the things that I've got inside. And then after a couple of weeks, strangely, his entourage comes to London for the world tour. They were promoting a program called Paramashivoham. And I went there, I spent the day there, and it was incredible. I also, on that occasion, received some healing by the Balasans. And what was wonderful, was magical, is that after that day, I felt the healing stayed with me, whereas any other technique or programs that I had been before, I would find myself always back in square one. But that healing was different. So I thought there has to be something more. And even though at that time I thought this is not going to happen for me, going to India for 21 days, I don't know how, I just had intention, but a strong intention. I found myself in December manifesting the money, the time off, and I was on a plane to India for 21 days, where this such intense course really was the beginning of a new life.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So can you tell us, maybe a little bit about, you definitely touched upon, insecurity issues, feeling attacked, and all of that. When did you start looking out, for a solution? Obviously, how did you know about Swamiji? You just shared in the world tour, but maybe you can just share how you started looking out for a solution, and then you were able to attend, one of the programs earlier.
Yeah, I feel Swamiji is helping us with practical things and with cosmic solutions, practical solutions and cosmic solutions both, where he gives a lot of tools. And since I've adopted the lifestyle, the Vedic lifestyle, which means praying, the yoga, eating a certain way, certain times, all of that, they start your transformation, plus the initiation of a living incarnation. That is also a huge element where you're not the same anymore. You start a journey where you have to discard all of the negativity that used to make you feel like there's no alternative before. Now a whole world of possibilities there. Not only that, you stop looking outside to blame others. You look for solution inside of yourself. It's so empowering. It's so empowering. So one of the biggest differences Swamiji has made in my life is that 2 years ago when my dad died, so when my dad died, he had lived all his life, most of his life, with a condition. It was okay with it. It was nothing, but he was diagnosed with cancer, but we didn't know until it was too late. And then after 2 weeks after the diagnosis, he died. But I didn't even know about the diagnosis because my family kept it from me. So in 2 weeks he was gone, and I was in UK, was in Italy. COVID, they wouldn't let people in the hospital. So from when he entered hospital, he didn't come out, and my family FaceTimed me last time they were able to see him, and he was already, he had lost consciousness. But because of Swamiji's teachings and training about the 25 dimensions, state of consciousness, and the 14 dimension of the universe and cosmology, and what happens to the soul after he leaves the body, this is how I was able not only to help my dad. I told my dad, don't be scared, don't be scared, I'm coming, don't be scared. This, and then when I reached Italy and I was with him in his last moments, I played the Mahavakya, I spoke to him and explained to him, go with Swamiji, don't be scared, that I was going to be okay because I have him in my life. So I used I put Nyananjan on his third eye, put on the Mahavakya for 10 minutes like that. And then we fell into this meditation. I fell into this meditation where I saw myself and my dad walking hand in hand, like I was a little girl, and I was accompanying him. There's this shore, and then like a sea of consciousness, where I think now could only have
That's
been.
great.
Yeah, and my dad left at that point. Swamiji came, he picked him up, and he took him with him. So it's because of the grace of Swamiji that not only I was able to help my dad and my family in this difficult moment, I was able to, you know, to let him leave the body in a way that it was as graceful as possible. And the whole process of my dad's departure was less traumatic, and I was able to help other family members.
Yes, it's a very important, thing that you've shared, touched upon many things. One is, obviously, how to bring yourself to completion with departed souls. And at the same time, about, Swamiji can liberate, us during, these special processes. But at the same time, you also touched upon authentic Hindu practices, that you've, you explained. This is so very important, for all the, participants, audience. It's because you during these 21 days with initiations, you will be exposed, to many of these, processes, and it's so very important. That not only when you are connected to the Guru, not only you, the Guru takes care of not only you but your whole family. He takes the responsibility, and it's so very important for us to understand that. And I request all of you here to look at it from a larger picture. How when you are connected to the Guru, he takes care of not only you and your family, and that means a lot to to all of us. And really, thank you for sharing, Markanseta.
No, thank you for this opportunity. I remember vividly Swamiji in December 2017 saying, if you become my devotee, I will be there for you when you pass away and your dear ones will pass away. And it was just another confirmation, but I already knew he is God incarnated, but there was another confirmation to tell me it's the real deal, and that's the highest, the highest gift you can give to someone and yourself is get this training, be in his space. So don't waste time. And
next.
So
what's your next step?
I'm gonna sign up and do the impossible to manifest the funds. He makes it happen.
Wow, there is no impossibilities. There is no impossibilities. When you say yes, there is no impossibilities. It is only situation, and you will manifest. And like earlier, you have manifested many times, and I'm sure you will manifest and make a decision today. Decision today to attend Paramashivoham Season 3.
Definitely, can't wait. I attended 10 days in the last round. It was amazing. I can't put into words his energy, how powerful healing and empowering it is, and I want to be there again. Like any time away from Swamiji, he's just wasted.
Yes.
I think
So
that
this
is
is
such
for
a powerful
Concetta and everybody else.
experience. When Conchita says that being away from Swamiji is something, she should not able to, because that is how intense he is. His life intensely manifesting to each and every one of us. We can see from the sharing of John on Conchita, whoever has attended the previous program, previous batch, previous season, everybody wants to attend again, right? And they're able to see and manifest all these amazing changes in them. And they're able to experience themselves as super conscious mutant. And all they say is, I just want to be with Paramashiva. I just want to be with Swamiji. So I have to manifest, the next season. That's so beautiful. See, that actually shares a lot about how the entire program is designed by Bhagwan, how powerful his initiations are, and 16 hours being in this energy space of Bhagwan and intensely manifesting this superconscious mutation. That is why every single participant who is actually attending the program always is actually feeling that, no, I really have to do it again. So that's really wonderful, Conchita.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So, Concetta, one more thing I'd like to share. Make a spontaneous decision today and take advantage of the early bird and attend the 21-day program. And this will be an inspiration to all of them, because the experience counts. Like how you want to experience the honey again, that you experienced in 10 days. It is just that you want to experience, the same. So it becomes a lifestyle for all of us. So
nowhere else I'd rather be, honestly.
Great. Anything you want to share to the viewers?
That was just one episode. I've had so many, experiences, mystical experiences, that is just an highlight. I was just remembering one time I was.
What do you want to tell?
Oh, okay.
What do you want to very specifically tell about Paramashivoham 3 to the participants?
Do not worry about the how. The how Swamiji will make it happen. You just have to have the intention, and he will manifest. You will see the things manifest in your favor. Time off, money. You just have to have a strong intention and doubt the doubt. Don't listen to the impossibilities. It's Swamiji's job to make it happen. Just having strong intention.
Whatever you're hearing from Conchita is just absolutely amazing.
Wow.
That's because of the super conscious mutation. The very precise words that she's using.
Amazing.
Right? And don't worry about how Swamiji is going to take care. So the very precise words and how powerfully she's speaking, it's all because of her experience of getting initiated as a superconscious mutation. So do not miss this wonderful opportunity. I request all the participants, all the viewers, if you feel, yes, this is something which I want to do, don't worry about the how. Just go and register yourself in Paramashivoham, in kailasa.org/Paramashivoham. The link is shown on the screen, and you may take a few minutes to register yourself.
"64 manifestations documented in Veda Agamas, which he himself describes. Manifesting all of them in you is the complete manifestation of Paramadvaita." "64 manifestations documented in Veda Agamas, which he himself describes. Manifesting all of them in you is the complete manifestation of Paramadvaita.
Yes, I'm sure all the participants and viewers are having amazing time just listening to these experiences of superconscious meditation. It is the impact of all the initiations and amazing darshans that each and every one of them were having. And just in a week, you can see how transformed they are, how blissful they are, how powerful they are sounding. It's all just the impact of the initiation of the getting initiated into a superconscious mutant. So do not miss this opportunity. And now in this segment, we're going to see more about what is this superconscious mutation, right? So in our brain, there are two parts, which is mechanical and non-mechanical part. This non-mechanical part is what gets initiated in all the darshans of Bhagavan. And when this non-mechanical part is getting initiated, it helps in manifesting tremendous possibilities and powers in our life. And Hindu Shastras and Vedic scriptures have given detailed explanation, detailed procedures, detailed methodologies on how this non-mechanical parts of the brain can be awakened through superconscious meditation. And we have our avatar, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, who has happened to this humanity just for all of us to experience this awakening of the non-mechanical parts of the brain, for us to experience this superconscious mutation. And, we had so many Puranas and scriptures talking about the powers that all the superconscious mutants in Vedic era emitted. When you take Mahabharata, all the Panchapandavas, Hanuman, so many Siddhars, enlightened beings, every single person have actually expressed themselves, expressed this superconscious mutation within them, and that is the reason they have experienced themselves as Paramashiva and expressed extraordinary possibilities, right? Whether it is, building of Cambodia temple or such marvels that the Vedic era displayed, it's all because of the impact of the superconscious mutation in all of them. So now, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is bringing this science to entire humanity, to each and every one of you, to experience this amazing possibility. And one such amazing possibility is experiencing the Samadhi. Very, very, very unique and special power called Navakanda Yoga Samadhi. You heard it right? It's called Navakanda Yoga Samadhi, where your frequency will be raised. Literally, your frequency will be raised to a level where you will experience such ultimate state of Samadhi. Only when you are established in the Nirvikalpa Samadhi, you can even experience that Navakanda Yoga Samadhi. And so many people have seen Swamiji falling into this Navakanda Yoga Samadhi, where you actually perceive, the human beings perceive it as the body parts are cut, but it is actually not cut. What is the science behind this Navakanda Yoga Samadhi? Let's hear from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Stay tuned. It's going to be a really, really powerful video, and please do not miss this. It's going to be really powerful.
See, there is a Siddha tradition in India from Rameswaram to Himalayas. The Siddha tradition is there. If you read these stories, life story of these Siddhas, one thing you will find commonly in all their lives, people saw their body parts lying separated, like a hand separate, legs separate, head separate. in the night time and got frightened. This incident you will see multiple times getting repeated in so many masters' lives. How many of you read any Siddha's life where you have heard this incident? Raise your hand. Navakanda Yoga Samadhi, it is called. The body will be in separate parts. Hands will be separate and legs will be separate. Head will be separate. Body will be separate. But morning it will all assemble, settle down, and they will come back. They will start doing all their activities. If you have read any master's story like this, wave your hands. It is not just Shirdi Sai Baba. Thousands of Siddhas. I should say not just thousands, even lakhs. Comfortably I can say lakhs. I'll tell you the important secret of this Navakanda Yoga. See, Navakanda Yoga does not mean they cut their bodies. Listen carefully. Kanda means cut. Akanda means uncut. Navakanda means 9 cut. Nava means 9. Kanda means pieces, cut. If you actually make a 9 cut on the body, it will be 10 pieces. Always listen. Human beings can detect the sounds only the frequency of 20 Hz to 20 kHz. Only 20 kilohertz. 2 hertz to 20 kilohertz only human beings can see. Not more than that. If it is below 20 hertz, you can't see. If it's above 20 kilohertz, you can't see. I want all of you to understand this. Same way, only 400 nm to 700 nm eyes can see. Below 400 nm eyes cannot see. Above 700 nm eyes cannot see. Now all of you should know, when you intensely unclutch, first thing will happen, your body will get detoxed. Next thing, the body's light frequency will start increasing. So, it will start going above 700 nm. Ramesh Ramaniya, உங்களை தான் தேடிட்டு இருந்தேன். இன்னைக்கு இந்த நவகண்ட யோக சமாதி பத்தி பேசிட்டு இருக்கேன். கேளுங்க. This Gautama Ashram, that Periya Swami will do this Navakanda Yogam. All right, listen. All of you. See, when the body goes above the 700 nm frequency, your eyes will not be able to see it. your body has major chakras in the throat. Cannot see something below 400 nanometer. Your eyes cannot see anything which is below 400 nanometer. Same way, above 700 nanometer, you can't see. When you go into the deep unclutching, your body goes above the 700 nanometer light frequency. If your whole body has gone above the 700 nanometer frequency, completely nobody can see you. But listen carefully, this is more important. There are chakras in the throat, Vishuddhi. And the chakras in this part, see this knee as a chakra, this Vishuddhi and this two chakra and on the leg knees also. This both knees also have a chakra. Listen carefully. The chakra in the knees of the leg, 2. Chakra in the knees of the hand, 2. 4. Chakra in the shoulder, 6. Chakra in the throat, 7. And in this 7 chakra, listen carefully. I am not talking about the Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Anahata, Vishuddhyanya. No. I am not talking those chakras. I am talking about the these are all actually minor chakras. There are 7 major chakra in your body and 14 minor chakras. These are like chakras in the shoulder, elbow, both the knees. These are called minor chakras. These chakras will jump beyond the 700 nanometer quickly. But the remaining part of the body will take 3-4 hours to cross the 700 nanometer. Understand very carefully. These chakras, these chakras, they will cross the 700 nanometer within, I am giving you example, 1 hour of falling into Nirvikalpa Samadhi. But this part to cross 700 nanometer will take another 3 hours. That is the time when you see body will be seen as a 10 pieces. Because this part will not be seen. It is actually not cut. This part will not be seen and this part will not be seen and the neck will not be seen. Head will be seen. Body will be seen. Knee will not be seen, but the leg will be seen. How many of you are understanding what I am saying? This is what exactly is the Navakanda Yoga. Body is not cut to pieces. All of you understand, body is not actually cut to pieces. But these chakras, they cross 700 nanometer. But the body will not cross that 700 nanometer. So what happens? When you see, you will see the parts of the body. You will see the full hand, but not the knee. You will see this part, but not the shoulder. You will see the body and neck, head also will be seen, but not the neck. Neck will not be there. You will see the thighs, but knees will not be there. You will see the foreleg, but the knees will not be there. So in this way, body will be there as cut in 9 places, 10 pieces. That is what is called Navakanda Yoga. Listen. This is precisely is called Navakanda Yoga. Body will not be cut, but in the Samadhi, body will not be seen. Shirdi Sai Baba did exactly this only. In the 3-4 hours, listen carefully, in the 3-4 hours, if people see them, they will get frightened and run away. They will get frightened and run away. Early morning, when the sunrise happens, early morning when sun rises, the whole body will come to normal frequency below 700 nanometer, which you will all be able to see. Listen carefully.
Yes, that was something so powerful. I'm sure none of us would have ever heard in our lives. Like, it is such a powerful experience that, and the revelation that Swamiji shared about Navakanda Yoga Samadhi, how we can increase the frequency of us and attain this amazing higher states of consciousness. Now imagine if you are walking into Adinam, if you are one such person who is walking into Adinam, and if you have actually seen the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in Navakanda Yoga Samadhi, what would you have felt? That is what exactly we're going to see next. A sharing from a devotee who has actually witnessed the Navakanda Yoga Samadhi of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Let's hear from him. It's such an amazing and powerful experience.
Nithyananda.
My name is Ma Nitya and today with me I have a very special guest, Dr. Ashok Amin, and we have Dr. Sailesh Patel also with us. We are here to talk to Dr. Ashok Amin about a very special, very unique experience, a spiritual experience he has had a few years ago during the December Inner Awakening, a cruise that he had undertaken with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, the Inner Awakening course. And so without further ado, we will get started with Dr. Ashok Amin. Nithyanandam, Dr. Ashok, how are you doing?
Nithyanandam, great.
Wonderful to hear. And, just the other day in the Paramashivoham program, we heard Swamiji talking about the Navakanda Yogam, the space or the Samadhi state that yogis are in, where it feels like there are 9, the body is in 9 parts, 10 parts and 9 cuts. And we heard that you mentioned that you have actually witnessed and you have seen Swamiji in that Samadhi space. Could you share a little bit about your experiences and what happened? And before you get started, I just wanted to let all the viewers know that Dr. Ashok Amin is a very, very long-term and a very devout devotee, disciple of Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. He has undertaken many, many courses and has been blessed and initiated by Swamiji many times. And so he is here to share with us the very special and unique experience that he had. So Dr. Ashok, please tell us about your experience on the cruise with Swamiji.
So in 2011, in a Singapore cruise, one day I was just wandering around the cruise and I passed by Swami's room and I saw Swamiji. I saw the head like a cut off from the body. And I saw one Swamiji, maybe in white clothes, next to him. That time I got really frightened and I went to my room. And next day morning, I had a satsang with him. When I saw him first time, I was feeling so peaceful inside and my fear was gone.
So was this, you said you saw him in the satsang for the first time in the cruise. So it was the day before the cruise, the inner awakening started, is it?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Please go ahead.
So when I heard this first time, I didn't realize at that time what is all this Navakanda and Dasatunda. And suddenly in this current Paramashivoham 3, when Swamiji just originated this concept, immediately I put in the chat, I saw Swamiji. I just remembered, just like that. And then he explained how big and how you can do it. And I felt at the end of the meditation that my parts were also like cut off. So how Swamiji can recreate that same experience in you, I don't think anybody in the world can do it. He's just the only one who can do it. And that's the great thing about Nithyananda Swami, our Guru, beloved Guru. He's making this like an experience. We know theories, but like this is like you feel it. When you feel it, it's just amazing. Just you cannot count in dollars, nothing. This feeling is like more than $1 trillion.
That's
great.
Wonderful.
And we are so thankful and our gratitude to Swamiji. He's spreading this to all over the world. And we want to get involved so many people, learn about this. We are just think the Indian gods are only deities. But he's bringing the science. They're not deities. They're energy powers. And they are beyond, like going to lokas and universes and everything. So it's just whatever we have myth about our gods, it's just bringing this great science to the world to experience. Our body is like billions of years ago made by Shiva to not be in suffering at all. And he has brought this science to the world, unclutch and no suffering at all. Great.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful to hear. And so happy to hear about your experience. It's 1 in a billion. We have not heard of anybody else here who's had such an amazing experience of seeing Swamiji during the Navakanda Yogam, the Samadhi space. And it's even more great to hear that once you overcame the fear of the unknown, not knowing how to process it, correct?
Yes.
And then the peace that you felt when you saw him the next day for satsang and darshan,
Yes.
that totally settled you and everybody around.
Yes.
Okay, that's so wonderful to hear. And we look forward to actually seeing a lot more photographs and you sharing memories with your time with Swamiji and in the Sangha. And we hope you have many more such powerful experiences to share with the rest of the world.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ashok ji.
Thank you. Nithyananda.
Nithyananda.
64 manifestations documented in Veda Agamas, which he himself describes. Manifesting all of them in you is the complete manifestation of Paramadvaita. 64.
That was such a powerful sharing from Aya. And I'm sure many of the devotees would have experienced, would have seen the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in such higher states, higher samadhis. And what you have just seen is a glimpse, is just one glimpse of a Paramashivoham Level 3 program. So this segment is actually a glimpse of Paramashivoham Level 3 Season 2. And last season, if you asked every single participant, this session was such a memorable session, because right after the session, Swamiji initiated all of them to this experience. He said, I'm going to give you all a glimpse of this experience, a glimpse of this powerful Navakanda Yoga Samadhi experience. And it was something phenomenal. I'm sure many of the participants always spoken about it, and they are just amazed at the powers and the experience that Bhagavan gave through this process. So if you feel really inspired, if you feel, wow, this is something I've never heard from Swamiji, yes, every single session in Paramashivoham Level 3 is like that. These truths you would have never heard from Swamiji before. It's like totally out of the world what Swamiji had was sharing in the session. So if you feel that, yes, this is something which you want, which you really feel part of it, then all you need to do is just register yourself. Kailasa.org/Paramashivam is the registration link. So do not miss that. And Shri Amritaya, you have anything else to add to that before we hear from Manish Jainji from India, who's going to share?
I think yes. I think Manish Jain has an amazing sharing. But while we are listening to the sharing of all these amazing people who have attended Paramashivoham, I request all the participants to register and register for Paramashivoham Season 3. And you're seeing such powerful testimonials sharing from Sakshi Pramanas from everybody here, and all of the amazing initiations and how things have transformed for people. So while you're listening to this next live sharing, I kindly request everybody to continue to register with this great intention of making it to Season 3. Please continue.
Yes. Thank you so much, Manishji, for joining with all of us. Yes. Would you like to introduce yourself to all our viewers today?
Nithyanandam, and
Nithyanandam.
thank you very much for inviting. But before even I introduce myself, and actually, my introduction is actually the introduction for just being disciple of Swamiji. No more other introduction is really required. But what Sri Amritananda ji said, I would say, whoever is watching this right now live, it is mandatory for them to register for Paramashiva PSM Level 3 Season 3. It is a must to do. This is not something that maybe I will do sometime later. This is something, this is what I would say, okay, nutshell. Whether you have done it some programs in the past or not, or whatever it is, it doesn't make any difference. Even if you have done hundreds of programs, still come and do it. This is must to do. So thank you very much once again. And so in terms of very briefly, the introduction in terms of professionally, what I really do. So I am a business, personal, and a spiritual coach. I am inspiring people all over the world to live an abundant life. I help them to build a quantum leap mindset, high velocity strategy to create and multiply their income. I am currently based in Noida, and I can tell you, whatever I am doing is only and only because of the blessings and grace of Swamiji, nothing else. I'm so grateful that I having him as part of my life, and not only me, for millions of people, not millions, actually billions of people all over the world. And of course, I can talk a lot about connecting with him, but I would love to hear from you. Anything specific you would like me to share on this regard?
Yes, I am. Would you like to share your background? Before you met Swamiji, what was your background and what you were doing? What really inspired you? We would like to hear from you on that.
Oh, definitely. So before I met Swamiji, or before I actually, I came into full-time an activity as a coach, I had been working in the corporate world, like most of the people, most of the engineers, some of the best companies I had been managing business outsourcing contracts, like millions of dollars of contract. This is the kind of lifestyle. Very intellectual person, the left brain dominating. In those years, having a guru like Swamiji, or it was far beyond imagination. So I was living that very successful life, I would say. And then it reached to a stage where things were not going the way I really wanted. Things started collapsing, and I was not able to really understand what is really happening in my life. Extremely successful person, and then suddenly things are like going nowhere. And that's where my transformation journey started. But in those years, I can tell you, it's now many years, I had no clue, no idea who Swamiji is. Actually, what was even the previous participants, what they have been sharing. So I was based here in India, but I was going all the way to US to learn all of the things, be it for healing, be it for therapy, be it for coaching, and everything was pointing me back towards India. And some point of time, I was finding I am a stupid person. I am going all the way from India to US. Okay, and these people are saying that, okay, this is what they have learned from India. And of course, if I see my background, I was at all the religious person or the spiritual person. I have never ever gone to any of the temples, or even if at all, because sometimes parents force you, and if you go, I will not even, bow down, and because extremely like it. This is the kind of lifestyle I was living. So that time it was very necessary that I should have someone in my life, or before even I meet Swamiji, someone who could actually help me. And this is all grace of Swamiji, which I can understand today. Today I can.
So Manishji,
yeah.
So Manishji, yes, great. I wanted to, maybe just you can highlight, you were looking for, solutions. You were looking for, guru. What kind of, issues or challenges that you felt, that you need a spiritual solution, and you started looking for a solution.
Yeah, that's a great question, actually. Yeah, I had been at a stage where I had the best of the relationship with my family members or friends, or despite being as a coach, as a healer, as a therapist, really understanding about how the human mind works. Okay, I reached to a stage where everything collapsed in my relationship. Everything collapsed. I reached to what is called the crisis situation, and left with no other choice, and I was not able to figure it out what is happening. Despite I understanding about that, why I am facing this kind of crisis situation in my life. And then it like I need someone who could take me out from this mess. What is really happening? And the next moment, all of a sudden, the Swamiji video is coming on the YouTube. I said, who is this? I never heard about him. No idea. But one thing which I can tell you, when I started listening to him, everything was resonating with me, whatever he was teaching, everything, word to word. I said, who is this person? Actually never heard. And okay. And especially, what people say is, when you are ready, the master come to your life. And this is exactly it has happened. So the very first time, if I say in this lifetime, I learned about Swamiji in August 2017. And September was the first program, which was Inner Awakening. I think maybe within 10 days.
Yes, Manishji.
So this is how I
yes,
started.
That's great. See, I think you say Great. And how about how about your experiences within the program, that the 21-day program that you've attended, how you're able to overcome this, overcome your obstacles, problems, and now how is your life?
Oh, I am living the most blissful, the most amazing life on this planet Earth. That's what I can tell you. Okay, I have everything the way he has showered. If I will try to explain it from an intellectual mind, I would never ever be able to do it. Something which you could only experience. I will still remember the first day, the first time when I met him and he said, I will shower you, I will give you everything. Okay. And the mind says, yeah, what is, I don't understand. So whatever I had been doing prior to that, this was still on a very superficial level. I'm not saying that those solution does not work. It does work. But the depth, what Swamiji is teaching, it is unbelievable. No one in the world, this is an ultimate. And this is what I actually realized also, because this is something work what I had been doing with the people.
So could you
whatever Swamiji is teaching,
yes, I think that's great.
Complete. Yeah, it's complete. Rest all other things are maybe some part which is taken from here and there. It's going more from that context.
Great, Ayya. So what inspired you to be part of this Paramashivoham Level 3 journey? Would you like to share with all our viewers on that?
What inspired me means every time I just meet him, it's just my experience for the life is becoming intense and intense, much deeper. Everything, what I'm desiring, I'm getting it. And this is something which I learned even the very first master which I met. When your master is physically in the body, live, he is inviting you. This is the most stupid idea if you don't go. For me, every program, it doesn't matter if Swami does program every month, you have to be available. There's no other option. If you really want to live a fulfilling life, if you want to experience the best of the things in your life,
so Manishji,
if you are okay, yeah. Anji.
So Manishji, you're I'm assuming you're attending the Paramashivoham season 3 and making payment today.
It's already done. It's already initiated and the balance is also
great.
Like
Great.
This is for 21 days and not only for me. Why only for me? Why not? You have your family, your friend. Why they should not do it? If you really love them, if you really care for them, invite them. Right? Everyone should do it. It's that simple as that.
A great message. It's a great message. Please, all the participants who are here, just like how Manishji, is also bringing him and his family, for Paramashivoham. You can introduce, your family members as well during this, 21-day program, and just a beautiful change can happen, in you, people around you. Your family and your relatives and first circle, second circle, and so on. And it's so very important that the Vatavarana, the space that we all know that you live in also matters in really being happy. Thank you, Manishji.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes. That was Manish Jainji from India, who is going to attend the Paramashivoham Level 3 Season 3 program. And all the viewers, please do not miss this opportunity. What you just saw is just a glimpse of one of those amazing sessions that Bhagavan revealed in Paramashivoham Level 3. And I'm sure this is something which you've never heard. And next, we are going to be seeing a very important segment to understand why this superconscious mutation is important for us. How does this superconscious mutation happen within us? Moment we understand the science, we know why we should be part of this greatest happening, because the avatar has come down just for us. He's come down exclusively to each and every one of us to give, to shower us with his highest possibility. So let's get ready to watch this amazing segment on why you need to experience superconscious breakthrough.
Superconscious mutation is process of putting the very core superconsciousness of Paramashiva into your consciousness and letting your consciousness mute, go through the whole mutation process. Don't understand the word mute into M-U-T-E. Conscious mutation process. The superconscious mutation process. Letting your consciousness go through the superconscious mutation process and evolving you is initiation into powers of superconscious mutation. Listen here. You manifesting the powers is the spiritual practice. Straight, you manifesting the powers is spiritual practice. Superconscious mutation is putting the very superconsciousness, the core of Paramashiva, into your consciousness and let your consciousness go through the process of mutation and manifest superconscious being and powers. I want all of you to know
ஆடுகின்றான். அவன் கூத்தனாக திருப்பாதம் தூக்கி மறையோதுகின்றான். பிறை சூடி அந்தணரின் பாடலுக்கு தினம் ஆடுகின்றான். அவன் கூத்தனாக திருப்பாதம் தூக்கி மறையோதுகின்றான். பிறை சூடி அந்தணரின் பாடலுக்கு என்று இயலிசை நாடகமாய் முத்தமிழ் இயற்றிய நாயகனே, தகதிமி தாளமொடு தில்லையில் ஆடிடும் தாண்டவனே, இன்மைக்கும் ஈரேழு பிறவிக்கும் துயர் நீக்க விரைந்தோடி வருகின்ற யமயாலும் நடராஜா, வயமாகி மயமாகி விரைந்தோடி வருகின்ற பாடலுக்கு பாதம் தூக்கி மறையோதுகின்றான். பிறை சூடி அந்தணரின் பாடலுக்கு தினம் ஆடுகின்றான். அவன் கூத்தனாக திருப்பாதம் தூக்கி மறையோதுகின்றான். பிறை சூடி அந்தணரின் பாடலுக்கு என்று இயலிசை நாடகமாய் முத்தமிழ் இயற்றிய நாயகனே, தகதிமி தாளமொடு தில்லையில் ஆடிடும் தாண்டவனே, இன்மைக்கும் ஈரேழு பிறவிக்கும் துயர் நீக்க விரைந்தோடி வருகின்ற யமயாலும் நடராஜா, வயமாகி மயமாகி வலியாகி ஒலியாகி சித்தத்துள் முக்தி தர நித்யனாய் வந்தவா. நமச்சிவாய வாழ்க வாழ்க நாதன் தாழ் வாழ்க வாழ்க, இமை பொழுதும் என் நெஞ்சில் நீங்காதான் தாழ் வாழ்க. நமசிவாய வாழ்க வாழ்க நாதன் தாழ் வாழ்க வாழ்க, இமை பொழுதும் என் நெஞ்சில் நீங்காதான் தாழ் வாழ்க. அண்டாண்டம் பிண்டாண்டம் அதில் ஆடிய கூத்தனி நாடலை பார்த்திடவே ஆண்டாண்டு காலமொடு மானிட கூட்டமும் ஏங்கியதே. ஆடுகின்றான் ஒரு பாமரையோதுகின்றான். பிறை சூடி அந்தணரின் பாடலுக்கு திரணனா திரணனா திரணா திரணா திரணனா திரணனா திரணா திரணா சரி சரி சனி சரி சனி சரி சனி சரி சரி மபனி சனி பப மரி சனி சரி சனி சரி சனி சரி சனி சரி சரி மபனி சனி பப மரி சனி திரணனா திரணா திரணா திரணனா திரணா திரணா தஜோம் தகிட தஜோம் தகிட தகதிமி தஜோம் தகிட தஜோம் தகிட தகதிமி தஜோம் தகிட தஜோம் தகிட தகதிமி தஜோம் தகிட தஜோம் தகிட தகதிமி. சிதம்பர திருசபையில் நயமுடன் ஆடிடும் நர்த்தனனே, உமையாம்பிகை நாயகனே, உன்னை பாடிட வந்தேனே. நால்வர் புகழ் பாடும் ஆடிய பாதத்தை நான் தொழ வேண்டும். அடியார்க்கும் அடியோனே அண்ட சராசரனே, உடுக்கை ஒளிதனிலே இருமொழியை தந்திட்ட தாண்டவனே. முதல் மொழி தமிழ் மொழியாய் மறுபுறம் வடமொழி உயிர் மாறாமல் மனம் போகாமல் விதி சேராமல் உன்னை பற்றிடுவேன். 64 கலை கட்டிடவே அருள் புரிந்திடு எம் அம்பல தரசே. அச்சை அல்ல நீ அச்சம் நீக்கவே அண்டம் வந்த என் அம்பலவாணனே. நமச்சிவாய வாழ்க வாழ்க நாதன் தாழ் வாழ்க, என் நெஞ்சில் நீங்காதான் தாழ் வாழ்க. நமச்சிவாய வாழ்க வாழ்க நாதன் தாழ் வாழ்க வாழ்க, இமை பொழுதும் என் நெஞ்சில் நீங்காதான் தாழ் வாழ்க. ஆடுகின்றான் அவன் கூத்தனாக திருப்பாதம் தூக்கி மறையோதுகின்றான். பிறை சூடி அந்தணரின் பாடலுக்கு தினம் ஆடுகின்றான். ஒரு பாதம் தூக்கி அவன் கூத்தனாக மறையோதுகின்றான். பிறை சூடி அந்தணரின் பாடலுக்கு இயலிசை நாடகமாய் முத்தமிழ் இயற்றிய நாயகனே, தகதிமி தாளமொடு தில்லையில் ஆடிடும் தாண்டவனே, வயமாகி மயமாகி வலியாகி ஒலியாகி சித்தத்துள் முக்தி தர நித்யனாய் வந்தவா. நமச்சிவாய வாழ்க வாழ்க நாதன் தாழ் வாழ்க வாழ்க, இமை பொழுதும் என் நெஞ்சில் நீங்காதான் தாழ் வாழ்க. நமசிவாய வாழ்க வாழ்க நாதன் தாழ் வாழ்க வாழ்க, இமை பொழுதும் என் நெஞ்சில் நீங்காதான் தாழ் வாழ்க. நமசிவாய வாழ்க வாழ்க நாதன் தாழ் வாழ்க வாழ்க, இமை பொழுதும் என் நெஞ்சில் நீங்காதான் நடி போற்றி நேயத்தே நின்றறி மலநடி போற்றி மாயப்பிறப்பருக்கும் மன்னனடி போற்றி சீரார் பெரும் துறையிடம் தேவனடி போற்றி ஆராத இன்பம் அருளும் மலை போற்றி ஈசனே சிந்தை கமலமன்னேசனே நீ வருவாய் ஒடு தருவாய் கலி என்னும் கடலினில் மூழ்கிட்டு எம்மை நீ கரம் வந்து கரை பொய்கையில் அலர்ந்திட்ட அலவத்மம் போல உன் திருவடியில் வாழ்ந்திட நிற்கிறேன் வாராய் அருணாச்சலனே நீ வாராய் அகண்ட ஜோதியனே வாராய் அல்லல் நீக்கிடவே வாராய் அகிலம் போற்றுகின்ற ஈசனே சிந்தை கவரும் நேசனே நீ வருவாய் ஒடு கனிகளுக்கு பூஜித்தோம் அருள் தருவாய் மெய்யினில் வில்வமும் நிறையா கடல் நீர் குடியோடு தரிசனம் அருளவா செம்பொன்மாட சிற்றவை தனிலே சிந்தை கவர்ந்த உன்னை சிக்கன பிடித்தேனே வந்தும் புகழ் பெறும் நான் வரை நாயகா மதியனில் இறைந்திடுவாய் மதி உணராதவர்க்கு மதி உணர் செய்திட வான்மழு நீ ஏந்திவாய் அறவாடிட இசை சூழ்ந்திட புலித்தோலோடு நீ வருவாய் विमुक्ति कारणे नादिकेश दिव्य ब्रह्मरूपने मीनाक्षि शक्ति सहित सुंदरेशने अन्नामलै उदित नित्यानंदने चित्त अचित्तला मुन्ना